Welcome to e-Belajau Biology Program Form 4. Assalamua'laikum and hello everyone. I'm Teacher Has from SMKA Sharifah Rodia. Today we are going to learn Chapter 8 Respiratory Systems in Humans and Animals, and I will focus on 8.2 Mechanisms of Breathing. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to compare and contrast breathing mechanisms in humans and animals. In the previous lesson, you have already learned about the respiratory structures and adaptations for grasshopper, that is insect, frogs, and fish. As you know, this is the cross-section of an insect. So let us look closer at the breathing mechanism of an insect. When an insect inhales, the abdominal muscle relaxes. This will reduce the air pressure in the trachea, and the air will enter the trachea through spiracles. While during exhale, the abdominal muscle contracts. This will increase the air pressure in the trachea, subsequently forces the air out of the spiracles. Let us watch a video to look closer at the breathing mechanism of an insect. It has lots of tiny breathing holes in its side at each segment. The abdominal muscles that relax and contract enables air to go in and out of the trachea through the spiracles. You see there, the spiracles? These holes open and close to let air in and out. So how about the frogs? Do you know that the frogs also have nostrils like humans? So where is the frog's nostril? There you are. Let us take a closer look for the breathing mechanism of frogs. During inhalation, what happens is the frog breathes through the nostrils. The mouth and glottis are closed and the floor of the buccopharyngeal cavity is lowered. The low air pressure in the mouth cavity draws air into the buccopharyngeal cavity through the nostrils. Then, when the glottis opens, the nostrils close and the floor of the buccopharyngeal cavity is raised. The increased air pressure pushes air into the lungs. While during exhalation, what happened? When the lungs contract, air is expelled from the lungs. This is helped by the abdominal pressure and the elasticity of the lungs. Some air is expelled through the nostrils, while the rest is mixed with the air in the buccopharyngeal cavity. Have you ever seen a frog breath? Let us watch a video to look closer for it. The frog breathes through the mouth and lungs while they are in an active state. Next, breathing mechanism of fish is aided by its mouth movement and operculum. Ventilation takes place during the fish swim by opening and closing its operculum. This will pushes water into the mouth through the gills. Ventilation increases the flow of water in the respiratory surface, that is gills. During inhalation, when the mouth opens, the floor of the buccal cavity is lowered. At the same time, the opercular cavity is enlarged and the operculum opening is closed. This will reduce the pressure in the buccal cavity. Water from outside, which contains dissolved oxygen, enters the mouth of the fish. While during exhalation, when the mouth is closed, the floor of the buccal cavity is raised. Water enters the gill lamella and gases exchange between blood and water occurs through diffusion. At the same time, the opercular muscle relaxes and the opercular cavity becomes smaller. The volume of the buccal cavity is reduced and the pressure in the buccal cavity becomes higher than pressure outside. So, the higher pressure will cause water to flow through the operculum opening on the left and right. Let us watch this video that illustrates how the fish breathes.
To get oxygen, fish gulp water through the mouth and pump it over the gills. In many fish, the breathing process begins when the gill covers close and the mouth opens. The walls of the mouth then move inward. The mouth partially closes and the gill covers open. This action forces the water from the mouth into the gill chambers.
What about the breathing mechanism of humans? During inhalation, the external intercostal muscle contracts while the internal intercostal muscle relaxes. This action causes the rib cage to move upward and outwards. At the same time, the diaphragm muscles contract and the diaphragm moves downwards to become flat and horizontal. Both mechanisms cause the volume of thorax cavity to increase and the pressure of thorax cavity decreases. Finally, the higher atmospheric pressure from outside forces air into the lungs. During exhalation, the external intercostal muscles relax while the internal intercostal muscles contract. This action causes the rib cage to move downwards and inwards. At the same time, the diaphragm muscles relax and the diaphragm curves upward to form a dome. Both movements cause the volume of the thoracic cavity to reduce and the pressure of the thorax cavity to increase. Finally, the air is pushed out of the lungs. Have you ever heard someone's breath? Let us watch this video and listen to it. So we come to the end of our lesson today. How to compare and contrast breathing mechanisms in humans and animals. When comparing and contrasting, we must remember these two elements. What is it? The first one, what are the similarities between the breathing mechanisms in humans and animals? The similarities are humans and animals have special muscular structures to expand and contract the respiratory cavity. Second, the breathing mechanism involves changes in the volume and pressure in the respiratory cavity. What is the second one? The second one is, what are the differences between the breathing mechanism in humans and in the animals? In insects, the respiratory aperture is spiracle, while in fish, the respiratory aperture is the mouth and also the operculum. For both frogs and humans, the respiratory aperture is the nostrils. For the structure that helps breathing, we can see here the differences. For insects, the structure that helps breathing are the thorax and abdomen, While for fish, the structure that helps breathing are the operculum and also the muscular floor of buccal cavity. For frogs, the structure that helps breathing is the muscular buccal-pharyngeal wall. While for humans, the structure that helps breathing are the diaphragm, rib cage, and also the internal and external intercostal muscles. Next, the differences are: the breathing mechanism in insects is assisted by the contraction and relaxation of abdominal muscles, while for fish, the breathing mechanism is assisted by movements of the floor of the buccal cavity and the operculum. While for frogs, the breathing mechanism is assisted by the rapid movement of the buccal-pharyngeal cavity floor and also the elasticity of the lungs. And finally, the breathing mechanism for humans is assisted by the contraction and relaxation of the internal and external intercostal muscles and also the diaphragm muscles, as well as the movement of the rib cage upward and outward and downward and inward. Okay students, that's all for today. I would like to thank all of you here for watching this video. See you next time. Stay home, stay safe, stay study. Ma'assalamah wa ila liqa. See you next time. Bye bye.